In September, the Nigerian Economic Society held its annual conference in Abuja. All sessions took place at the NAF Conference Center in Kado. The theme was Rethinking Africa's Development, Pathway to Economic Transformation and Social Inclusion in a Changing Global Economic Landscape. The gathering focused on how Africa can grow stronger and ensure more people benefit from that growth. The president of the society reflected on his long journey. He reminded participants of the mission to advance growth, shape policy, and build the next generation of thinkers. He also opened the induction and fellowship ceremony, welcoming new members, honoring fellows, and celebrating award winners.
This is the 16th annual conference of the Nigerian Economic Society, and it's the biggest conference we ever had. We had over 3,000 participants, including 500 students, and the theme of the conference is Rethinking African Development. This is the time we start looking at, given the various global challenges we have, how should Africa reposition ourselves? There's climate change, there are debt crisis, shifting geopolitical wars, there are all kinds of things going on. So how should Africa reposition itself? That has been the theme of the conference. Yeah, again, just like the last panel, one of the speakers mentioned that. And they said, look, debt is not the problem. Most of the countries that develop today, they use debt to develop. And if you look at China, look at the debt GDP ratio of China and other countries, they use debt. So debt is always part of what every country needs to develop. So the important thing is, how do you use the debt? So it's not the problem of having debt, but how do you use the debt? How do you ensure that you use debt to finance development, to build infrastructure, and to develop capital that will be of benefit to the future generations?
The chairman set the tone for the technical sessions. He emphasized collaboration among African nations, stronger institutions, and long-term planning to secure inclusive growth,
which suggests that economists need to understand and employ political and social dynamics in their own analysis. To our fellowship recipients and award winners, your recognition today comes with the expectation of continued leadership. You are the torchbearers of our profession, and the nation looks to you for solutions to its most pressing economic challenges. As we proceed with today's program, from the induction of new members to the recognition of lifetime achievements, let us remember that we are not merely conducting a ceremony. We are strengthening the foundations of economic thought and practice in Nigeria. The future of our nation depends in no small measure on the quality of economic analysis, the soundness of policy recommendations, and the integrity of economic practice that emanates from institutions like the Nigerian Economic Society. Let us today mark not just celebration, but the commitment to excellence, to service, and to the noble goal of building a prosperous, equitable Nigeria through sound economic principles.
From the African Development Bank, the message was clear. Governance, leadership, and financing for development are essential.
Take home from this discussion is that governance is very important. Leadership, visionary leadership is very important. Financing for development is very important. Capacity building in skills and knowledge and education is very important. Education for development. Education that is contextual and that addresses the reality of our needs.
Officials also stressed the role of skills, education, and partnership in moving Africa forward.
So I'm so glad to be part of this conference this year. It's quite different from what we have been having in the past, and the level of engagement with private sectors, with international partners, and with academics is awesome, in the sense that we are able to bring everybody together and be able to look at the topical issues that are raging in Nigeria today, for instance, issue of tax, public debt, and again, general reforms by government. And now we are looking forward to a kind of a partnership that definitely will bring everybody on board to see how we can move Nigeria together, and not only rethinking development, but also pushing the development level to a level where it has not been before.
It's different from other conferences that have been held in the past, in the sense that we are now thinking of an homegrown innovations, technologies, and policy that are peculiar to Africa and Nigeria in particular.
We know that some countries are going economical, that's what the United States has done. But also, we call for African leaders to look inward, develop internal capacity, competencies, and rely less on external aid granting.
By the end of the 4-day program, the message was clear. Africa must rethink its path, take charge of its own development, and build policies rooted in its own realities. This is Ifunaya Indigwe reporting for Business Day Television.